They are gladiators. They are champions. They're hustlers and Hall of Famers. They're the world's greatest pool players, and they've come to the International Pool Tour's King of the Hill 8-Ball Shootout for two very good reasons. To win the biggest prize money the sport has ever known, and to dethrone the current King of Pool, Mike the Mouth Siegel. Meet Mike Siegel, voted the world's greatest living pool player. Taught Tom Cruise how to shoot pool in The Color of Money. 10-time world champion. Today, he wears the crown. But nothing can prepare this legend for what awaits. Drama, excitement, and the most challenging pool competition ever. Take your cue. The world's most amazing players. The hottest pool action ever. $1 million on the table. Get ready for the ultimate break.
Let's get ready to rock on!
It's the International Pool Tour. It's good to be king.
Welcome back to the biggest event in pool history, the International Pool Tour's King of the Hill 8-Ball Shootout. I'm Matt Vasgersian, along with the current IPT King, pool legend Mike the Mouth Siegel, and IPT founder Kevin Trudeau. And guys, we're seeing some historic pool in round one.
Absolutely, Matt. All these top players are playing for so much money, dealing with so much pressure. They ultimately want to meet you in the finals. We've seen some surprising upsets so far.
Yeah, lots of surprises. Two of the greatest pool players have already lost big matches here in round one. Johnny Archer lost to Karen Corr in a huge upset.
Yeah, a female player being Johnny there.
That's right. Earl Strickland also got barbecued, so it'll be very exciting to see if those players can make a comeback here in the round-robin style. Allison Fisher also won a big match, and it's going to be very interesting to see if she can continue beating the men.
Lots of great 8-ball action, lots of money on the table, and some dramatic marquee matches still to come in round one. So let's take a look at some of the International Pool Tour players that we'll be watching.
Corey Duel, the young gun, one of pool's hottest rising stars. Gerda Hofstatter, originally from Austria. She's the former gold medal European champion. Gabe the Babe Owen, 2004 U.S. Open champion. He's a serious player and a high-stakes gambler. Earl the Pearl Strickland, former player of the year, U.S. and World Open champion, a Moscone team member.
Here are the International Pool Tour rules. The game is 8-ball. Traditional tough tournament conditions apply. The pockets are 4.5 tight inches. The table has a slow nap cloth. You must call ball and pocket, no slop. You must break from the box. No breaking from the side rail allowed. The winner continues the break. The matches are a race to 8. The first player to win 8 games wins the match. Here's how the IPT round-robin format works. Round 1 features the 30 greatest and most feared pool players in the world who play in 5 groups or brackets of 6 players each. These players compete against each other. The top 3 players from each group advance to round 2. The 15 players then compete head-on in 3 groups of 5 players each. The top 2 players from each group will emerge victorious and move on to round 3. These 6 players are placed into 3 groups and have to face their greatest challenge yet. They must play the legendary Hall of Famers. The top 2 players from each group will move on to face each other in round 4. The winner of round 4 will then face a date with destiny and will challenge 10-time world champion and pool legend Mike the Mouth Siegel.
Okay, the stage is set, so let's join the action here in round 1. It's young gun Corey Duel, the 3-time junior champion, versus Earl the Pearl Strickland, one of the game's most gifted all-time players, but also one of pool's most combustible. So let's go to the table for Game 5 of this race to 8. Corey Duel jumped out to a 3-0 lead, but Earl the Pearl has just won Game 4, so now it's 3-1 in favor of Duel. Strickland with the break and hoping for a little momentum.
Now he's breaking right from the center of the table, Mike.
Yeah, which is a great break for 8-ball. Of course, he didn't hit him solid. You notice how the cue ball hit the rail? I'm not sure if he made a ball or not. Earl is a very explosive player. Very explosive player. I've played him many times. I know his game. Here's a guy that can be weighed down, and the next thing you know, you lose the match. I mean, that's what kind of a threat, so you could never count him out. I guess he didn't make a ball in the break, but this is not. If you notice, by the 8-ball, there's a clump of balls. Up table to our right, there's a clump of balls. This is not an easy run out. You have a lot of what we call mystery shots where 2 or 3 balls are kind of tied up. So what he's doing is he's trying to analyze which is the best suits to take, the high or the low. So I guess he's committed to take the low balls. He must like those a little better than the high. He actually has a pretty good layout, but you have to get the good position. This is one of those racks where he must place the cue ball on key balls. What we mean by key balls is, let's say he's going to play the 3, the red ball, and then he's going to have to get straight on, let's say, the next solid ball. So that's why he's really stalling around. You notice he's got a lot of angle on this next shot. So you really want to get straighter. Let's see what he does here. That's a great shot right there.
Wow.
He made both balls. Now, he did that to stop the cue ball. See, he had a lot of angle on the red ball.
Now, was he planning this?
Yes. He's playing the red ball. The 6 happens to go in, the green one. But he wasn't concerned about that. The key shot was the red one.
So he actually hit the green ball, the 6 ball first, and then into
the red ball, right?
Ball.
And the reason he did that was because he had too much angle. If he'd have just made the 3, the cue ball would have, what we call, got away from him. Actually, he's laying pretty good right here. He's going to play the 5, the orange ball in the side pocket. He's actually perfect. He made this rack look easy, but let me tell you, this was a tricky rack. Well, he's actually got another ball, the 2 ball. I think he'll draw back here a little bit.
So he's going to hit the cue ball low.
He's a little closer to the rail than he would like. Again, he doesn't have to really get a great shot on the 8. Now, see, he didn't get off the rail enough to kind of be able to maneuver the cue ball. Let's see what he does here. Now, see, he bumps the 8. See, he had a little angle. Now he's got the 8 in the side pocket, I believe. I think he's happy now.
Corey Duel to take a 4-1 advantage.
Oh, man. I can't believe he missed that. Huh? And I don't think he can either.
It's my 4th 8 ball I missed.
When we return, we'll see if Earl the Pearl can take advantage of Corey Duel's missed 8 ball. This is the International Pool Tour. Real pool, real rules, real money.
Mike Siegel's always been a favorite player of mine. I've bet on him a lot of times in his matches when I was growing up. When he quit the tour, that's when I first started. So I've never played a match with him. There's only going to be 6 people that get out of this 30-man stage, so it's going to be tough to do. If I get there, I feel like I'm going to take it down.
We're back at the International Pool Tour. Game 5 continues between Corey Duel and Earl the Pearl Strickland. Duel leads 3-1 in this race to 8, and an opportunity now for Strickland after a missed 8 ball.
Now, he missed that, and if that ball went in the wrong pocket, Mike, he would have lost the game, right?
Yes. It has to go in the pocket you call.
Now, these balls are all wide open for Earl, so this should be a relatively easy run-out for him, right?
Yes. The worst thing you can do is make all your balls then miss with your opponent having a wide open table. So Earl can obviously play almost any, and he's kind of flying around the table. That was a big game for Corey Duel because he would have led 4-1 as opposed now to 3-2, which is an even match. So that's a big, big game.
Strickland not wasting any time.
Boy, Earl, I'll tell you, I've played Earl many times. Boy, he is one of the most dangerous players, especially when you make a mistake like that. You know, and Corey Duel knows that. You see how easy? Uh-oh. Boy, he hit that a little hard. Watch this. Watch it.
Oh my
wow.
God.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Earl says that's perfect.
I ain't never seen it land more perfect than that.
Earl is very frustrated. Well, you know, Earl is a fast player, and to be honest with you, he just misjudged the speed.
So he just played safe.
Yeah, and he played a great safe. I mean,
Well, I'm a great player, ain't I?
Earl's funnier to listen to than anybody.
I don't deserve it. I can't win.
Well, he's just saying that. He left Corey Duel. I don't know what. I think
gonna
he's
bank
banking it. Yeah, but this is he's an underdog to make this. Yeah. That was not an easy shot, but what are you going to do?
But that was a great save by Earl. I mean, he put the cue ball on the rail,
Now,
which makes it even harder.
Yeah, Earl made a perfect save there. Now, this is not over yet. This is not an easy shot.
What is he going to do here?
Well, he's got to try and
All
cut
right,
it
I'll
in.
play it in the corner there.
This shot does not have to go in. This is not an easy shot, but he's got to play it. He's probably like even money to make this. He made a great shot. Oh, he didn't hit it hard enough.
Now that's the slow cloth.
Yes.
I told you I couldn't make
See,
it.
that's the difference with this traditional slow cloth.
Right. On a faster cloth, that would have gone in, but on that on that cloth, the ball didn't reach.
And that's
And-
for the win.
Very
Corey
pathetic.
Duel, the young gun, goes on to take the match in convincing 8-2 fashion, putting himself in good position to move on in the tournament. Earl Strickland drops to 0-2 and is in trouble, to say the least.
Sorry, Earl.
I'm playing bad.
Get it together, buddy.
I don't know how to play right now.
We go back to the tables here at the International Pool Tour and the deciding game in a key match between Big Bubba Sean Putnam and Gabe the Babe Owen. The match is tied 7-7 in the race to 8. Putnam with break.
This is pretty big here now. I think you're going to see a lot of matches 7-7 going to 8, and the break is a big advantage. Look at that break.
And a huge break by Big Bubba.
Almost scratching the side.
He made 2, maybe 3 balls. Watch this break. The cue ball jumps up in the air, almost scratches. I mean, if he'd have scratched there, he would have lost the game automatically. The only problem here is I can see in the corner of the table, there's 2 balls tied up right where he's standing.
Yeah, the 9 and the 3.
Yes, those 2 balls. Now, even Gabe Owen knows that. So the choice, the selection, now obviously he's shooting fast, so it may be easier than what we appear. As we're looking at it, he probably has room to make the red ball, but the 13 does not go. I believe that's the 13 down there, the straight ball.
He did make a pretty quick choice to shoot solids here.
Yeah, so the red ball, but it's still, I'm more concerned about those balls than what he's doing right now. I don't know much about him. I see he plays pretty quickly, so he may be trying to go for it right now, the red ball, which is what I would do. He made a little mistake there. Actually, that was a big mistake there. I think he was trying to get on the end rail to play the 3 or possibly touch the...
Break him up, you mean?
Yeah, he's got a tough shot right here. Look at this shot. This is a very tough shot. And he made it. He made a great shot there. I'll tell you that. That was not a... He has a good shot on, I think, the 4 next, and he can get to the 3, the red ball. So...
Well, what a lot of people don't realize is not only is he trying to make the ball, but he's thinking where he wants the cue ball to be. Therefore, he has to manipulate the cue ball to go where he wants.
You see, he makes the 4 and he slides the cue ball down. He can make the red ball. It looks a little different here, but I'm pretty sure he can make that. But again, he does not have to get easy on the 8 ball. That's his problem now. He's not concerned about the 3. He wants to position the cue ball to have an easy shot on the 8 ball, the black ball.
We saw Gabe Owen up stalking him a moment ago, thinking about his chances of maybe getting back onto the table here, and they're not looking good.
Now, I'll tell you what, right now, this is not an easy shot. He's what we call on the 50-yard line. He has a tough shot in every pocket. He missed it. Oh, I thought he missed it.
Oh, God.
You watch him shoot this shot. He catches the rail. It looks to me like it shouldn't go in, but it barely does. Watch this.
We got lucky there.
Big Bubba. A big win for Big Bubba.
We'll get that break good.
When we return to the IPT, 2 best friends, Johnny the Scorpion Archer and Kim Davenport, face each other in an important round 1 matchup. Back at the International Pool Tour, round 1 action continues. Johnny the Scorpion Archer, the player of the decade from the 90s, versus Kim Davenport, a former player of the year himself.
Johnny Archer. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Been playing pool for 25 years.
My game's coming along. I'm getting over the nerves, feeling more and more comfortable. And so I have just one thing to say. Mike, you look out. I tell you what, I'm gunning for you. You know, it's been a long time since we played each other, but it'd be just like the old days.
Archer started the match running the table 3 times, then runs the table another 4 times, and is now on the hill here against his good friend Davenport. He leads 7-1 in the race to 8.
Know if I'm going to win a game.
Archer starting to hit his stride after losing earlier in round 1 to Karen Core.
You know, they're using the Sardo rack, which is the official rack of the International Pool Tour. Every rack is exactly the same every single time. Gives a perfect rack. That way, there's no problems with, racking the balls.
Yeah, and it calls for it makes the ball so solid. Watch when Archer hits them. You see all the balls explode. If the balls are not real tight, look at that break.
And the
Big
8 ball
break.
stays right there.
Yeah.
That shows you that it was racked perfect.
Now, he makes a ball. I mean, Archer has one of the most powerful, well, actually, both players have a very powerful break. And from the middle of the table, you know, I still say with the men and women, as you're going to start seeing, I mean, Archer is on a 4 run right now. How do you defend? He ran 3 racks and 4 racks. How can you defend against
Well,
that?
it's interesting because he just lost to Karen Core. So
Right.
it was, you know, was he going to come to this match depressed?
Right.
You know, but obviously he came back firing.
Yeah, and both players. Kim Davenport also had a big loss, 8-1. So, he had lost 8-1. So, you know, both players are trying to get their games on.
Now, this is tough. What is he doing here?
He's playing a combination here. He's playing the stripe balls. And he makes a great shot. See, all the balls are kind of congested, but what we call the shot laid right, which means even though the combination looked tough, the first ball he hit, I believe the 9 yellow stripe ball, all he had to do was kind of hit it straight on. It looked like he was going to cut the other ball in.
Earlier, we asked Kim Davenport and Johnny Archer what it's like when best friends compete at the pro pool level.
Playing my best friend's very difficult. We go out to dinner together, we room together, we play golf together. We do everything together when we're out here on tour. And you have to just put that aside and just think, look, he's my enemy for the next hour, hour and a half, and try to get through the emotions.
It's definitely different playing Kim because, you know, it's hard to have that true killer instinct when you're out there playing Kim. He's your best friend. But, you know, he's trying to win, I'm trying to win. So it's, you know, we try to just basically do the best we can.
And right now, Archer is doing just that. He has, you know, he's leading this match 7-1. Of course, he ran 3 and 4X. I said that before. So obviously, I still say pool. There's more pressure in this game or sport than any other sport because you never know when you're going to shoot again. I mean, all these guys can run 8 racks. I mean, how do you like stepping up?
This looks tricky. How is he going to move? Where does he want to move the cue ball?
He's going to hit the cue ball low with a little bit of left English and probably come out towards the center of the table again. He went back and forth. And he's playing for this ball. He's actually perfect. Johnny Archer likes to do the same thing I do. He picks things off of the felt.
Even when there's nothing there.
Yes, even when there's nothing
Even when
there.
there's nothing there, Matt.
It's like a habit. Now he's going to play this shot, and he's going to try and sneak in between the 8 and the 5, the orange ball. Kind of stop the cue ball almost right there. He's perfect.
Boy, I am amazed, guys, at how Johnny Archer, after a pretty bad beat, to borrow the poker terminology, against Karen Core, has come back and has really gone nuts here against Kim Davenport.
He makes a great shot here. Well, both players came off a loss. Johnny Archer obviously took advantage of it. I think his break worked better in this match, and that's why you see the lopsided score.
Now, he had to use English here to get that cue ball to go 2 rails to get perfect position on the 8.
And the speed was absolutely perfect. He's straight in.
Well, this will be the 5th rack in a row then he runs. That's 5 racks in a row and for the match.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you can't defend against that.
Well, Johnny Archer with a convincing win against Kim Davenport. He seems to be back in stroke after his earlier loss to Karen Core. Mike, a lot of tournaments play 9-ball. As we know, all the International Pool Tour events are 8-ball. From a player's perspective, how do the games differ?
Well, one thing for sure is the most common game around the world is 8-ball. If you ask anybody that's ever played a game of pool, what's their game? 8-ball. There's way more decisions in 8-ball compared to 9-ball, where 9-ball like tells you what to do. In 9-ball, the ball can go anywhere and it counts. In 8-ball, you must call every shot. So obviously there's more skill to it.
Well, when we return, it's 8-ball at its most pressurized. Earl Strickland trying to hang on in round 1 versus former European champion Gerda Hofstatter. That's right, Earl versus the girl, a female champion that is, right after this.
The International Pool Tour is brought to you by NaturalCures.com. It's your alternative to drugs and surgery.
My name is Gerda Hofstatter. Pool is a fantastic game because it's an endless challenge. There's no limit as to how good you can get. The way the IPT tournaments are run, where you play 6-7 matches in one day in a row, is brilliant because you actually, for the first time, have to be athletic and in shape to do well, and that's fantastic.
Round 1 of the International Pool Tour continues with Gerda Hofstatter, originally from Austria and the former European champion, versus Earl Strickland. Gerda's lost 3 straight matches here in round 1, so she's desperate for a win. And Earl's 1-2 and coming off the loss to Duel. And Mike, Earl got a warning from the ref here in this match against Hofstadter.
Yes, take it from Mike the Mouth. He's really not supposed to talk to his opponent.
To give you
warning about discussing things with your opponent.
What's that?
It may be non-sportsmanlike conduct. So I'd like to ask you to refrain from doing that.
What did I do?
Speaking to your opponent.
About what?
Not necessarily about what, but just refrain from speaking to your opponent.
Is that in the rules? I disagree with that rule. I would actually have to take that rule to my constitutional amendments. I think the guy doesn't like me, I guarantee you.
Earl's claiming that his constitutional rights have perhaps been violated.
Earl's on tilt right now.
Well, he's got to win. Well, both players have to win this match.
Big break and nothing drops.
Yeah, he hit the cue ball a little off center. Whenever you notice when a guy breaks, if the cue ball hits a rail quickly, he didn't hit the balls as solid as he would have liked to. So I believe he did not make a ball, but this is a very difficult run out considering you see these two balls right here in the corner.
Like it.
The orange ball and the 14, the green stripe ball.
At least one ball's tied up.
So even Earl says at least one ball's tied up. So this is a tricky rack, and it doesn't look easy to break those out. Look at that shot she makes.
That was a great shot.
Now, she picks stripes, to be honest with you.
Look at this shot. Now, this is
a very tough shot. She makes a great shot here. I don't know why she took stripes, because to be honest with you, I don't see any easy way to break out these. I keep looking at these bottom balls with the 5. See the 14, the green stripe ball right at the bottom of our screen. Now, what is she doing? She's going to play this off the 5. Watch what she does here. Well, that was an amazing shot.
Another very difficult shot.
That was more than difficult. That was a very tough shot.
And she broke it up. Well, listen, she's playing loose because she knows she's 0-3. She has to win the next 2 matches to have a chance of moving into the next round.
Yeah, and Earl actually has to win this game, too. This is but this is, to be honest with you, this is very surprising, even to me. The score is this close. Gerda is a she's a top player. She's not in Fisher or Coors League. And you can see what's going on here. So this is more surprising in the whole tournament, I think. This might be a huge upset if she happens to win this match.
Boy, Kevin, you said it. She's playing loose. She's picking and executing very difficult shots here.
She has an open table now after making that phenomenal shot.
Well, she made 2 spectacular shots there.
Yes. She actually has a good run out here. If she comes out towards the center of the table.
Now, Earl just has to win 1 more game to win the match.
Yes.
Gerda has to win the next 2 to win the match.
Earl might not get back onto the table here, however.
That's right, because the winner gets the break.
She's got a nice shot. She's probably going to just foul the cue ball down slightly and play the 8 ball in the side pocket, is my guess here. But she made an amazing run out. She made a couple tough shots here and really deserves to win this game anyway.
And this could tie it up 7-7 if she does win it. Oh, she drew it back.
She's got a little bit more angle than she would like. Yeah, she actually drew that back. It's hard to tell a lot of times when you're watching this from a distance.
Now she's got to use the bridge.
And Earl will be taking the bridge if he loses this match. Trust me on that one.
To tie it up 7-7.
Gerda Hofstatter ties the match, and she and Earl go hill to hill in the deciding game. Coming up next at the International Pool Tour.
You're watching the International Pool Tour. For a schedule of events and to learn how you can qualify to play for over $8 million in prize money, log on to internationalpooltour.com.
It's hill to hill, 7-7. Earl Strickland and Gerda Hofstatter in this key round 1 match at the International Pool Tour. Mike Siegel, what's going through Earl's mind? He was one of the favorites to face you in the final match for the IPT crown, but if he loses this match, he's going to be eliminated from the tournament.
I think Earl's in shock, but again, the score's 7-7, so he can still win this match.
Let's see her break compared to Earl's.
Now, she hit some very weak, but I don't think she made a ball.
Nope.
No. And Earl's up very quickly. I like those glasses Earl's wearing. I don't know if he's, he thinks he's outdoors or what the deal is there.
Is he playing the combination here?
I think he's playing the 10 ball. I can't tell. No, he did play the combination. Now, he made a nice shot. What he did was he played the combination and look where the cue ball is. he tried to, what we say, get in the center of the table to give himself the best chance. But again, this is not Earl's best game. In 8-ball, there's a lot of decision-making, choice of shots. I'm not saying Earl can't win an 8-ball tournament, but it's definitely not his best game. I don't know what he's looking at here. He's talking to himself, but I think the layout is good.
If he runs this out and wins this game, he wins the match.
Yes, it's at 7-7.
If he loses this game, he's out of the tournament.
Pretty much, because with 3 losses, I don't know what he's doing. He looks like he's in great shape here. Let's see what he does. That's, hold on, that's way too hard. Way too hard.
That's the end of that.
Yeah, see, he's a little upset with the way the cue ball rebounded. If you watch this,
boing.
He's trying to get the cue ball right there, but it obviously goes too far.
So he just hit it too hard.
Too hard. He didn't judge the speed.
Looks like you won.
Earl's funny.
Me.
Why?
Now, see, it's a gamble here now. I don't know what's going to happen. He makes a great shot.
Does he get position?
And now he's in trouble. Now he's in trouble. He had a gamble. He's got the 11, the red stripe ball, or he can bank the other ball. I mean, he is in huge trouble right now. Huge trouble. Because he had too much angle on that shot. I don't know what he's doing here.
Oh, and he scratches.
On top of it.
And he scratches.
Wow. So ball in hand for his opponent.
That was a big. He had a run out, but misjudged that one.
He hit this ball so hard.
Well, he's trying to jump the cue ball actually over the 3 and the 5 to get position on the next ball.
If Gerda can run this table out, this is going to be probably the biggest upset.
Yes.
So far.
Yes, so far. I would say. I mean, Gerda's a good player, but like again, she's not. I'm comparing her to Core and Fisher. She's not in that league. But I'll tell you what, Earl has definitely opened the door. I mean, the worst thing you can do in the world is leave your opponent an open table where you only have 1 or 2 balls left, or the 8-ball, let's say. It makes the run out very easy because there's no problems.
And it started ball in hand, as Gerda was able to do here.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage. And Gerda plays good enough where she is the favorite to run this table. Now, if she does not run out from here, it would surprise me. So in this situation right now, I'd say Gerda is a huge favorite. And Earl is sitting there. I mean, he probably wants to, kill himself. I mean, he's in total disbelief right now.
I mean, because he was one of the favorites to face you in the finals.
Yes, and I'll tell you the truth. I'm, from me, my standpoint, I hope he gets eliminated. I mean, that's a guy I don't want to play in the finals.
Yeah, I've sensed as the current king of the hill, you're rooting for as many upsets as possible here in round 1.
Gerda, do your worst right now. Please run out. Actually, she's got an easy shot on the 2, the blue ball, and then she makes the 8. I mean, all she's got to do is, concentrate.
Match tied at 7 games apiece. The winner of this game takes the match, and Gerda Hofstatter is an 8-ball away from a huge upset here in round 1.
This is for the match and to eliminate Earl Strickland.
Round 1 upset indeed. Gerda Hofstatter defeats Earl Strickland. Our Rebecca Grant caught up with Earl to find out what happened.
So what happened today?
Nothing. I lost. I'm used to losing. I lose all the time. I know how to lose because I'm a loser.
Good night, Earl.
I wasn't always like this. I was made like this by those players, criticizing me and calling me a crybaby and a cheat when all I wanted was better equipment and better standards. And all I got to say for young people out there, stay in school and shoot pool. There you go. Now I got to add a woman to my resume.
So Earl Strickland, none too happy about what's transpired here at the International Pool Tour, but he's not the only top player who has succumbed to the pressure of the biggest event in pool history. Kim Davenport, who we saw lose to the Scorpion Johnny Archer, has been eliminated after having dropped 4 out of 5 matches in round 1. Keith McCready is also gone after going 2 and 3. He definitely does not see the color of money at the IPT. Ralph Souquet of Germany, former European Player of the Year, has also been knocked out, among others. Then there are the winners in round 1. They advance to round 2. Mika the Iceman Immonen, he's moved on with impressive wins over Strickland, Hofstadter, Duel, and Billy and Cardona. The hitman Thorsten Homan racked up wins over Raj Hundell, Jeremy Jones, and Rodney Morris in advances to round 2. Raj Hundell of England also advances. So does the Filipino Marlon Marvelous Manalo, who's gone undefeated in round 1. Others advancing include Karen Kaur, who we saw defeat Johnny Archer in round 1. She won a very impressive 4 out of 5 matches. Sean Putnam, formerly known as the Love Sponge or Big Bubba, also had an exemplary round 1, winning 4 out of 5. He moves on to round 2, as does Gabe Owen and young gun Corey Duel. But what of Allison Fisher, the Duchess of Doom, the world's #1 female player? She's not through to round 2 yet because she still has to face the undefeated Filipino Francisco Bustamante. Next at the International Pool Tour, it's a must-win for Allison. Stay tuned. Back at round 1 of the International Pool Tour, the fates of many have been decided. Not so Allison Fisher, who must win here against Francisco Bustamante, the former World Pool Masters champion and one of several masterful Filipino players in the tournament. Fisher is one of the game's most focused players. She knows what she has to do. But, guys, she finds herself in a tough position, though. Bustamante has taken a 6-2 lead in the race to 8.
Now we're going to see Fisher's break. Let's see what happens here.
She doesn't hit him hard. Now, she has to win this match, even though she's 3-1, because she has a higher games lost index against the other players in her bracket. She must win this match. If people want a complete explanation of how that works, just go to internationalpooltour.com.
I think her break, now she got lucky and made a ball on the break. You see how all the balls are clumped together? Now, she made a good shot where she broke them out, okay? But the idea is when you watch, let's say, Bustamante break, the balls are all, or like Strickland and guys like that, the balls are all over the table and the runouts are a lot easier. When some of the girls break, their break is, the balls are clumped together, makes it much more difficult. And I think that's why they don't string racks. See, Bustamante is the kind of player that can run a lot of racks on you.
Is it fair to call Allison, guys, the top-ranked female here at the tournament?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Now, she didn't have a shot there, so she was trying
right.
to play safe.
She played a safety. She got a little unlucky. When she broke those balls out, she didn't get a shot. I don't know what Bustamante...
But that fell on her bad break. Now, he has to play safe.
Now, he made a great safety there. Now, see, here's why that was such a great safety. If you look at the red ball, the 3 ball, there's no other solid balls in the vicinity to even break those out. So he has stripe balls that he can break those out with. That was a great shot. I really didn't even see that. He just got up and just did that. So Fisher is now...
Well, that's why he's 4-0 right now.
Exactly right. I mean, Fisher is in a very tough situation right here. And she's playing a guy that breaks awful powerful, that is like a Strickland kind of player, that can break the balls and continuously run racks.
That was a heck of a shot right there.
She made a great shot.
She drew the cue ball back a little bit.
Well, she shoots about as straight as anybody. I mean, she's an ex-snooker player, and they learn to pocket a ball as well as anybody in the world.
This match is actually in the final, what we call the mothership, the arena. That's why you see so many chairs in the background.
Right.
There are, 30 matches going on right now all over the tournament room. So this is way off to the side. So that's why there's only a few people. As a matter of fact,
where I'll be appearing.
This is where the finals are going to be held.
This is the equivalent to having a prelim match at center court at Wimbledon before the final draw has been realized.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know why she was picking off those balls. Now, she's going to obviously have to bank the 3 ball. Oh, I see what she did. What a great shot that was. Now, I'm thinking she's playing,
she broke up the 3.
And has a shot on it. I mean, that was a great shot. I thought she was going to play the other ball in the other pocket. Imagine this. This is not an easy shot, though. See, that was not an easy shot. And I think the pressure might have got to her because we rarely see Allison Fisher miss.
That's right. She doesn't miss that often.
Yeah, now she's just pretty much opened the door.
But the reason is go back to her break. She didn't break the balls hard, so they were all clumped together.
Right, exactly right. And that is going to catch up. That is going to catch up to the people. It's not just the women. There's a lot of men, actually, that have what we call a weak break.
And that weak break even is amplified on the IPT because the cloth is the traditional slow nap cloth, and the pockets are the traditional tighter 4 1/4 to 4 1/2 inch pockets. So less balls are going to go on the break anyway.
Yes, and I mean, believe me, that's all I've been practicing is my break. And I'll tell you right now, I hit him as hard as I can humanly possibly hit him. and many times don't make a ball in the break. And it's very frustrating to see someone break easy and once in a while a ball dribbles in.
Well, he just got a few easy balls to pick off here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is supposed to run out. Of course, I'm not going to call what's going to happen, but he made an error there. I mean, what he was doing was floating out in the center of the table because he had his choice of 2 or 3 different shots. But definitely, I mean, this does not have to go in. I mean, he'll probably make this, but it's not an easy shot.
Oh, and a miss.
There you go.
Wow.
I mean, there you go. You see, he got careless. Watch what happens. Now, see, this was not an easy shot, but he's supposed to make it.
But see, he's drawing the cue ball back,
Right.
so he's putting a lot of funny English on the cue ball.
Exactly right. He's protecting an easy shot for Fisher. Now, see, Fisher, this is a very difficult shot. She's near the rail, has to cut the ball in kind of what we call backwards.
Now, again, even though that Francisco is 4-0, and he's already moving on to the next round,
Right.
he wants to not have Allison win any games because that's going to affect his games lost index for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
And again, people have to understand that it's how you play for the entire tournament, which is going to
Right.
affect you. So again, internationalpooltour.com gives all the rules of how this format works. It's really the best in the world, and it's the fairest in the world.
What has she left herself with here in trying to finish this and claim a game to get back?
Well, she made a great shot on the 3 and had a gamble on a shot on the 8. Now, you see how close she is to the 8 ball? Now, you know, it's a big judgment call. I predict she'll probably...
She's going to cut the 8 ball. Right? Yeah, there you go.
She
And
did
she
make
does.
it.
Allison Fisher, battling here to survive round 1, was asked about her life in pool and outside the game.
I came to America in 1995 to begin my pool career. I came from a background of snooker. I'm very into what I'm doing at a table, and I'm very focused, and that's, you know, what it's all about, my concentration. Away from the table, I'm a totally different personality. I think I'm very fun-loving, and I think I'm very easygoing. And, you know, my life is fun. I enjoy life. What makes me a champion, I think, is my ability to focus at the table. You know, I'm not a crazy player, yet I will go for it if I feel the shot's there. Just my mental game is very strong. I don't get fazed by anyone.
So the Duchess of Doom's mood lightens a bit as she claws her way back and trails 6-3. The break is hers when we return to the International Pool Tour.
You're watching the International Pool Tour. For a schedule of events, log on to internationalpooltour.com.
Back at the biggest event in pool history, $1 million on the table for the world's greatest players. One of them, Allison Fisher, is poised to make a comeback here in a must-win match against Francisco Bustamante of the Philippines. Allison trails 6-3. She's just won a game, so she has the break.
And
Scratch.
Wow, a potentially fatal error on break by the Duchess of Doom herself.
Well, she's got to win this match. And she just, you know, she could be giving up the break here, right, Mike?
yes, yeah.
Up. See, he just moved the cue. He moved the cue ball with the tip, and that's a foul.
That's a foul. Now, see, instinctively, even I would do that. Yeah, that's a new rule that you cannot move the cue ball with the tip, only your hand. And obviously, he didn't think of that.
A big break for Allison Fisher after scratching on the break, and she gives it right back to him.
I couldn't take it.
Well, this game is still not. Now, he has his choice. No one is. Now, see what he did there? He played the 7 into the stripe, which is on your first shot, is legal. You can take anything or a combination. But he made a big mistake there. He tried to break, I believe it was the 11 and 8. Those 2 balls are stuck together. But his work is cut out for him because he has to break those 2 balls out next to the 8. He may do it right here. And that's exactly what he did.
What a great shot.
Yeah, now he played that shot. He played to hit the 7 into those 2 balls. Now think about what he was doing.
Now, you've played him before. I mean, he's one of the greatest players in the world.
Yes, now he is. In fact, I think the last time we played, unfortunately, I lost to him.
Now, if he wins this game, he goes on the hill and he gets the break back.
Yes, and his break is devastating.
Francisco Bustamante has been the early buzz in the tournament. 4-0, and he's gotten to 4-0 in devastating fashion. And in this game, when you give a player of this caliber a second and third chance,
yes,
as has been the case, it's just too many opportunities for him.
Yeah, now he's in great position here. He can play this ball in the side pocket. He'll probably pretty much draw back a little. So he's in very good command here.
Now, Allison made some uncharacteristic errors. Do you think that's fatigue, Mike? I mean, this is the 10th
Very
hour
possible, very possible. I'm not sure. Probably, yes, you're right.
She's used to the pressure. I mean, she's used to the TV cameras, but 10 hours on her feet, I don't think she's used to.
Yeah, and Bustamante, again, has kind of got a long, tough shot. Even though he makes it, you can see he's got a very tough shot here.
This is to take the lead.
Bustamante has won a number of international 9-ball championships. He gets back on the hill here and has break in what could be the deciding game in this match. You know, a lot of great matches here at the IPT feature great male players versus great females. That's unique to the IPT. We asked Francisco Bustamante about the experience of playing Allison Fisher.
Well, Allison, she's a good player, and she won a lot of tournaments. And she can beat a good player for a men's tour. Doesn't matter if you are female or men's, but play your best.
Bustamante with the break, leading 7-3.
If Francisco wins this game, it's over. He wins the match. He's 5-0, undefeated. He goes on. If Allison doesn't win this match, she's out of the tournament, and that's a huge upset.
This guy has got an enormous break.
Yeah, he's got a well, the thing is, again, with the girls and the men, if Bustamante was in this situation, if he was down 7-3, he can actually run 4 or 5 racks and come back, where Fisher...
Like Johnny Archer did earlier.
Exactly right. Fisher, the girls, their break is not strong enough where they can, what we call, dominate the match. They can win games, but the top men player can win multitudes of games, and that's where the break factor, it really comes into play.
Well, of course, when you talk to Allison and Karen, they totally disagree with you.
Well, yeah, but you're seeing the proof of the pudding right here.
It's Mike Siegel, folks. Direct your emails to Mike Siegel, champion of women's rights for years.
Yes.
The girls versus the men.
Yes. Boy, this Bustamante, I'll tell you what, he's very, every time he runs out an 8-ball, he didn't have to hit that ball. He hits a lot of balls. I notice. I don't watch him play 8-ball too much. But he's getting the job done. Now, he's got to get on the 6-ball. See the green ball? I'm watching it, getting a little ahead of myself here. He's got to get on that green ball near the 8. That's the key ball. And it looks like he's perfect. I can see the way he's walking around the table.
And en route to going 4-0, maybe even 5-0 if he wins this game, he hasn't said a word at the table.
No, he's very one of those quiet guys. He lets his cue do the talking. Well, it looks pretty good from here. He makes the 1 and plays the 8 in the side.
This is going to mean Allison's out of the tournament. Huge upset, and Francisco goes undefeated 5-0.
Indeed. Bustamante wins, eliminates Allison Fisher, and improves to an eye-popping 5-0 to start the tournament. Conjuring up Teddy Roosevelt, speak softly, carry big stick. So Allison Fisher, because of her very tough bracket and the GLI, does not advance past round 1 here at the International Pool Tour's King of the Hill 8-ball tournament. A big disappointment for her, guys.
Yeah, that was a huge disappointment for Allison, but, unfortunately she's out and the tournament continues.
And, she was one of the big favorites, too.
And a lot of great players do advance into round 2 and get a little bit closer to this guy here for the biggest payday ever in pool. Mike, who looks especially tough to you right now?
Well, they're all good players, but I'm still the best, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, as we expected. From the lips of Mike the Mouth Siegel, a tremendous, historic round 1 here at the IPT, and even more dramatic 8-ball to come as we head to the next round next time. It's the International Pool Tour. Real pool, real rules, real money.